Good morning. I'm Pastor John Woodin, and welcome to Coffee with the Pastor. This is a ministry of Hollywood Faith Christian Center in beautiful Hollywood, Florida. We welcome you this morning. We're going to start today in Luke chapter 19. And then Jesus entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, who was a chief tax collector, and he was rich. And he sought to see who Jesus was, but he could not because of the crowd, for he was of short stature. So he ran ahead and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was going to pass that way. And when Jesus came to the place, he looked up and saw him and said to him, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must stay at your house. And so he made haste, came down, and received him joyfully. Now, first of all, Zacchaeus is a chief tax collector, which means the tax collectors were in collaboration with the Roman government. Rome needed to collect so much tax. You could extort from the people whatever you could get from them, and you could keep the difference between what the Romans required and what you got from the person. And being the chief tax collector means that everybody was probably tipping Zacchaeus too. So not only was he rich, but he was corrupt. Now he's short of stature, so he runs ahead and he gets into the tallest trees, which are the sycamore trees, and he's waiting for Jesus to pass by to get a look at him. And then Jesus stops and points him out. Now he takes Jesus to his house, and of course the religious authorities are complaining because he's with tax collectors and sinners. And Zacchaeus says this, Lord, look, I have given all my good. I'll give half my goods to the poor. And if I've taken anything from anyone by false accusation, I restore fourfold, which is probably almost everybody because, again, Zacchaeus is a thief. And Jesus said to him, today salvation has come to this house because he is also a son of Abraham, for the Son of Man has come to seek and to save that which was lost. Zacchaeus gets one touch. He has one meeting. He has one encounter with Jesus, and it changes his life. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, Jeremiah says, and whose hope is in the Lord. For he shall be like a tree planted by the waters, which spreads out its roots by the river, and will not fear when heat comes, but its leaf will be green, and will not be anxious in the year of drought, nor will it cease from yielding fruit. So when you put your lot in with the Lord, you don't have to worry about what next season's going to be like, what's the next thing around the corner, what other hard thing is coming. It doesn't matter because God has got you on his mind. Hear me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Heal me, save me, and I shall be saved, for you are my praise. So Jeremiah is saying, look, at the end of the day, if you need healing, you're going to get healed. If you need salvation, you're going to get saved. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Well, Matthew 9, Jesus encounters two blind men, and of course he takes them away from the crowd. If you remember, Jesus often did this because a lot of times a lot of unbelief is in the crowd. So he takes them to a house, closes the door, and then he says to them, do you believe that I am able to do this? And of course they said, yes, we believe that. And he says, so let it be done to you, according to your faith, let it be done to you. And of course they both received their sight. Again, though, that one encounter, that one time with Jesus changes their lives. In Jeremiah 18, God asks us the question, and I think he's asking all of us, even today. He takes Jeremiah down to the potter's house, and he's making something on the potter's wheel, and it's marred, and so he smushes it down, and he starts again. And the word of the Lord came to me saying, O house of Israel, which really, whatever your name is, if it's John or Betty, or whatever it is, he says, can I not do to you what this potter is doing to the clay? Said the Lord, look, if the clay is in the potter's hand, so are you in my hand. And so will you allow God to reshape you? Will you allow God to make changes in your life? Will you allow him for that one-time encounter that will change you forever? And at the woman at the well, if you remember the story of the woman at the well, John 4, Jesus encounters the Samaritan woman at the well, and she comes at an odd time because she doesn't like to go there when the other women are there. Why? Because she is a sinful woman. She's been married 5 times. She's living with a man. The man she's living with is not her husband, so that's a big problem. So she just sneaks in when she can get water in the middle of the day instead of in the morning when all the women are there, because she doesn't want to deal with that. Well, Jesus starts engaging her and talking to her. And first she's surprised. She said, well, first of all, why are you talking to me? You're a Jew, and Jews have no dealings with Samaritans, and they always felt that Samaritans were unclean all the time, especially the women. And Jesus said to her, give me a drink. And the woman said to him, sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where do you get this living water? Because he said to her, I'll give you living water. And she goes, I don't even know what you're talking about. All I know is, and he says this to her, whoever drinks of this water will thirst again. But whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst. But the water that I shall give him will become in him a fountain of water springing up to everlasting life. And she says, sir, give me this water. I need this. And then he begins to prophesy over her. And ultimately, if you've ever seen The Chosen, it's just such a great scene where she's just rejoicing that she's met Jesus. She's had this encounter with him. And she then goes back to the village and tells them that she met a man that knew everything about her. And they asked Jesus to stay for 2 more days. And so basically you have like a little mini revival going on there for 2 days, because one encounter with Jesus and she is forever changed. One conversation, she is forever changed. You give it a try. Maybe you ought to check out church this weekend. Maybe God will touch you as well. God bless you. See you again next time.